Hi guys, SDJR88 speaking, with a review of another extremely anticipated model, and one that has been top of the model wish list for a number of years. The all-new Maunsell S15 from Hornby. 3 versions were announced for the 2015 range. The first, R3327 in Southern Railway's green livery, R3329 in British Railway's late unlined black livery, and this version, which is the only one currently available at the time of reviewing, R3328 in BR early black livery, paired with a flat side bogie tender, which is a totally new design from Hornby. As always, I got this model from my local model shop, Signals Models of Midsummer Norton, for the great price of £129.60. On the back of the box we have a brief history of the class, which I've had a quick scan through and created this little summary. Originally designed by Robert Urie, the S15 looked very similar to its N15 Class. This was due to a number of parts such as the boiler, cylinders, valve gear and tender designs being to the same specification. By May 1921, 16 S15s had entered service, but with the grouping of the major railway companies in 1923 and the retirement of Urie, the further orders of the class were delayed, with the new CME Richard Maunsell improving the design. Modifications to the S15 included increasing the boiler pressure and the reduction of the cylinder bores. The footplate was also modified, featuring a new Ashford-style cab. The roof was flush with the cab sides, and variants of this cab became standard on Southern Railway locomotives, including converted tank engines. Other modifications included the lengthening of the valve travel and the fitting of larger outside steam pipes. Smoke deflectors were also added for improved visibility at speed. By 1936, a total of 45 locomotives had been built. Although originally designed for heavy freight work, the S15 proved an adaptable class, handling passenger services with ease during peak holiday periods. They outlived the N15, and the first withdrawals began in 1962, with the last being in 1966. 7 S15s have entered preservation. So, without further ado, let's have a look inside the outer packaging. The model comes in the standard ice cube packaging. In the tray, we have the usual paperwork, which includes the instruction manual and all the information you need to know to look after the model. Then we come onto the ice cube itself, and we get the first glimpse of this beautiful model. And sorry about the glare again, but it really does look stunning. I can't wait to get this out on the track. If we flip the model over onto the top, we see there is a detailing pack which is absolutely crammed full of separately fitted details. In there you've got the brake rigging for the bogie tender, you've got the front steps, you've also got the cylinder drain cocks, a coupling for the front bogie, and also I believe there are some vac pipes in there as well. So, without further ado, let's get her on the track. Now that she's on the track, we can see her in much clearer detail. And what can I say? She looks absolutely gorgeous. On first glances, this is really looking to be a great model indeed. The front of the loco has been faithfully recaptured by Hornby and features a number of details. As can be seen, there is plenty of rivets both on the smokebox and on the frames. On the smokebox door itself, there features a number of separately fitted items, including the lamp irons and handrail. Below that we have the running number 30843 and the shed plate code 72A, which has been very neatly and crisply applied. The shape of the frames have also been very well captured, with the right angle edge below the smokebox itself and the beautiful sweeping curves to the left and right where the smoke deflectors are to. The smoke deflectors themselves have also been very neatly applied, and I love the way they join to the handrails just to the side of the smokebox. The rivet and separately fitted details continue on the buffer beam. As can be seen, there is more separately fitted lamp irons and also a pre-fitted vac brake. On the buffer beam itself, we have the 3-link coupler along naturally with the buffers. They have been very well captured and also are sprung. Below that we have the bogie, and as can be seen there is a slot for the NEM coupler if you're wishing to fit a coupler to the front. Below that we have these elegantly designed iron guards which are part of the bogie moulding. The S15 features one of the most beautiful and well detailed underframes I've ever seen on a 00 scale model. The wheels and linkage have to be the finest I have ever seen on a ready to run model to date. As can be seen, we have the separately fitted sandpipes along with the brake shoes. The brake rigging is separately supplied. The detail behind the wheels has not been missed out, again with plenty of rivets, and also between the two rear drive wheels we have the firebox which is also being captured. Moving beyond the rear drive wheel, and we have this beautiful separately fitted pipework which has been very well applied. The running plate on the model is die cast and really adds to the overall weight. There is more separately fitted pipework along with this beautiful lubricator which has been very well captured. We then come back onto the smoke deflectors and we can see a bit more clearly how they finally join onto the separately fitted handrails. Moving on to the top of the smoke box, and we have more rivet detail along with the chimney. The chimney, unlike on certain other models, is completely hollow, so I suppose is of great advantage for those of you who are wishing to add smoke generators at a later date. Moving along the boiler itself, and we have the fine separately fitted handrail. On the top of the boiler we have the dome, safety valve, whistle, and also more separately fitted pipework. We then come on to the top of the cab. The cab itself is very well detailed, featuring the iconic flush cab side to roof design. On the front we have flush glazing along with more rivet detail which continues along the side. Below that we have the power classification 6F and again the running number which has been very neatly and crisply applied. To the rear of the cab we have cab doors, and as well as that this beautiful and very fine handrail which stretches up from the frame to the cab roof. Inside the cab we have a wealth of detail which features separately fitted items along with very finely painted details. All in all, this really brings the cab of the S15 to life. Like many other modern models, the locomotive comes permanently coupled to the tender via the drawbar, but for those of you wishing to close the gap, it is adjustable. One interesting feature on the S15 that I have not seen on any other Hornby models to date is the adjustable fall plate, which is a very nice detail. The flush-sided bogie tender is a totally new design to Hornby and has been very well captured. On the footplate of the tender, the detail continues like in the cab. This includes the coal coming in on the chute, the handbrake, the toolboxes, and also the tender doors. There is also a very fine separately fitted handrail going down the front as well. Like the locomotive, the underframe detail on the tender is outstanding. Another interesting feature is that both bogies feature tender pickups, which will of course aid smooth performance. Looking somewhat lost on the vast tender sides, we have the small British Railways early emblem, which is totally prototypical to this locomotive. As always, it has been very neatly and crisply applied, and is perfectly legible. The coal load is very realistic, but for those of you wishing to go the extra mile, it is of course removable. Once removed, it exposes a full detailed interior. On top of the rear of the tender, we have the air tanks, which are separately fitted. We also have the water filler caps, which have been very well modelled. Like on the front of the locomotive, we have separately fitted lamp irons, vac pipe, and of course sprung buffers. The tender also comes pre-fitted with a small tension lock coupler. So, without further ado, let's see how she performs. So, here she is all ready to go. As usual, I'm running her on DC, But for those of you who do operate DCC, she comes DCC ready and all she needs is a chip added. I'm using the Gauge Master Model D controller, and without further ado, I will slowly apply power to the track. Now, she is straight from the box, hasn't had a run-in as per usual with my reviews. Getting a bit of noise. And I believe we have movement. Look at that. Slowly bringing up the power. Wow, that was really a smooth pull away straight from the box. I've never seen anything like that. Over the point work. No issue at all. That is absolutely amazing. Just onto the curve. I'm going to slow her down before she goes out of shot. Stop her there. Now I'll see if I can repeat that in reverse. So I'm slowly applying power. It's gradually building up. And there we go. You see there's a slight stick in reverse, but then again she does need a good run in. But that pull away though was absolutely amazing. And again, straight over the point work, no hassle at all. I'm just going to slow her down here. Bring her to a stop. There we go. Wow, now that was really something else. So without further ado, on to the scores. So there you have it, the all-new S15 from Hornby, and what can I say? This has to be the finest ready-to-run model to date. I mean, the wheels, the linkage, and that underframe detail is just outstanding. I've never seen anything like that before on a ready-to-run model, and it really does show that Hornby can do detail. I know for the past few years they've been criticised with clever design and other things, but they've been slowly working back up to this standard that they used to be at, and it's great to see that they are back there and have in some ways exceeded that as well. So without further ado, let's move on to the scores. Detail, now that has to be a 10 out of 10. As mentioned, that underframe detail is just so fine, and that linkage, it really is hypnotic to watch. Then we've got that cab detail as well. I mean, it really is beautiful. Which brings us on to the performance. Now the performance, I've never seen a model so smooth straight from the box. I mean, a lot of models been gradually getting smoother and smoother and smoother as they come straight from the box, but this has to take the biscuit. I've never seen anything so smooth straight from the box. Of course, it's going to have its 30-minute running in each direction before I get it on a train, and I'm sure it'll be even smoother than what it is, but that crawl from a standstill without hesitation, I've never seen anything like that before. It really is amazing. Livery application. Now, although it is just plain British Rail black, what I do love about the S15, which I haven't noticed on any other models to date, is the tone difference between the smoke box and the boiler itself. There really is a noticeable difference between the tone of black, which of course is seen on a real black locomotive, and it's great to see Hornby have captured this rather than just going all over black. And it's a really nice touch and really does highlight the model. Then that brings us on to overall cost and value for money. £129.60. I say that is absolutely outstanding value for what you get. I mean, I recently reviewed the Crosty Boiler 9F, and that was great value in itself. £114, £115 RRP for you know, a railroad model, and I said that was good value. But for £10 more, and you get this, well, I must say, I might have to sort of go back on myself. I mean, the Crosty is absolutely an amazing model, don't get me wrong, and it is still great value, but this is great value and then some. I mean, it is really, really amazing. You certainly pay for what you get. So, that is it. I guess I hope you enjoyed this review. Sorry I've blabbered on with a bit of this description and got, you know, a bit over myself there, but really, you just have to see one for yourself. They really are absolutely amazing models. So, without further ado, This has been SDJR7F88 speaking, and thanks for watching.